Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Which Gear Should I Buy? So the other day, the Boston guitarist commented on one of my videos, and he said, I'm looking for something between a Dual Rec and a JCM 800. Now, I don't know if he's trying to decide between those two amplifiers or if he's looking for something that's a combination of both. But either way, I have a solution for him. And if you're trying to decide between both of them, I would say get neither of them. I have a much better option for you. Let's get started. So before we get started, I just want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters and subscribers. I really appreciate you guys. And if you're new to the channel and this is your first time here, basically what I do here is shootouts. I do amp shootouts, I do amp dial-ins, amp demos. I also demo pedals and all kinds of digital gear as well, such as the KEMPER, HELIX, Axe Effects, Pod Go, all that stuff. And I give you an honest opinion about everything. And I also give you unprocessed audio. So there's no EQ, no compression, nothing on the mics. I find the sweet spot on the speaker cabinet and dial in the amplifier and you get the raw tones. That way you get the truth about everything that I'm dialing in here and you can make the best decision that works for you. So if that's something you're into, please subscribe to the channel and make sure you click the bell so that you can be notified every time I either go live or come out with new episodes. We actually have live hangs here on Sunday nights at 7 o'clock. Alright, so on with the rest of the video. So the amplifier that I think the Boston guitarist should get is the Revv Generator MK. Now the reason for that is he's looking for a JCM 800 and or a dual rectifier. And if you ask me, the Revv Generator MK is the better version of both of those amplifiers. In fact, the green channel on the Revv Generator MK is freaking amazing for classic rock and JCM 800 tones. That's basically what it was designed for. And I think it's a much better version of that because it's tighter, the feel is better, and it has more gain so that you don't have to hit it hard with an overdrive pedal and crank the gain on the pedal. It has enough gain to do all that stuff. And if you want to go like for the really low gain stuff, well, just turn the freaking gain knob down and turn the aggression down on the channel and you're going to get exactly that. And this channel will get into higher gain territory as far as the classic rock stuff goes. And I'll demo all of that for you in a minute here. So the other thing he was looking for is a Dual Rec. Now this amplifier, especially on the purple and red channels, is a much better, tighter, better voiced version of a dual rectifier. It takes a boost really well, and depending on your taste or the music that you're playing, you might not need to boost this amplifier at all. Now, all due respect to the Dual Recs, I mean, they're great amplifiers, but things have changed over the years and they've been known to be really loose and tubby, and they also have a lot of fizz on the top end. Well, that's not the case with the Revv Generator. It's just much tighter. It doesn't have that loose, gooey low end, and it also doesn't have any of the fizz. The gain structure on this amplifier is more refined and more modernized, and the voicing of the amplifier is also very, very modern. And again, there's no fizz. I just think that they really sculpted the voicing and the gain structure on this amp perfectly. So let's get into a couple channels on this amplifier so I could show you how this will do the JCM 800 stuff and then some, and a very, very good modern version of the dual rectifier without all of the issues that the dual rectifier has. So we're going to start with the green channel, and I'm going to play a couple classic rock riffs for you so that you can hear what this amplifier sounds like in that context. So take a look at this picture and see how I have the amp set up. Okay, so on the green channel you have a couple of aggression levels. You have the blue and the red aggression levels. I'm just going to show you like a moderate gain setting on the channel right now. So I basically have the blue aggression on and the bright switch is off. With the bright switch on, it actually adds a little more aggression to the top end, a little more texture. But for now, we'll just keep it right where it's at just to show you where it's at in the mid-gain setting. And after that, I'll go through a couple other settings for you on this channel. So as you can see, it covers the classic rock territory very well. I mean, I did some Van Halen, I did some Dokken, and it fits within those genres perfectly. So now I'm just going to play a couple riffs on it, and I'm going to adjust the aggression level to red and turn on the bright switch on this channel and just show you how nasty it can get. So like I said, you can get a lot of variety in this channel. I mean, you can go to lower gain stuff or even get into higher gain stuff easily, and the feel is great also. And I'm boosting it with the Mud Killer, and I boost all my amps. It's just the way I do things, but yeah, it takes a boost really well. I just think that it covers the classic rock stuff perfectly. And I've played the JCMs, and they're just kind of lifeless, you know. They don't really have a lot of gain in them, and the feel isn't all that great with them. You got to really slam them hard to get any kind of response out of them. And with this amp, I mean, you don't really need to do that on any of the channels. So like I said, I really think that the green channel on the Revv is just a much better version of a JCM 800. Now I know some of you are thinking like, man, that's a lot of gain on that channel. I mean, that's almost in metal territory. Well, let me give you some perspective. So I'm on the green channel right now, and I got it sounding about as nasty as I can get it. I'm going to play a couple riffs on it, and then I'm going to switch to the purple channel. So keep an eye on the light right here on the amplifier. You'll know when I switch to the purple channel. You'll see it turn purple. But it'll be pretty obvious when I switch anyways, even without you looking at the amplifier, because it's going to breathe a lot more fire and get a lot more aggressive and a lot nastier as soon as I switch over to that. So let's go ahead and do that now, and then we'll talk about the purple and red channels after that. I mean, the difference between those two channels on this amp is freaking obvious, right? I mean, the purple channel and the red channel on this amp just are nasty as hell. And the things that I like about these two channels, I love the voicing. I just think they sound really, really good. There's a thickness and a beefiness to them, but there's also this really nice aggression. And the feel on these channels is just insane. I feel like I can do no wrong. The amp is very responsive, especially when you hit it with an overdrive, and the texture on the top end is just freaking awesome. I really love everything about these two channels on this amp. I mean, I really don't think they could be any better. So here's a picture on how I have the purple channel set up. And as you can see, I only have the gain at 1 o'clock, and it still sounds freaking sick. Now another thing I really like about the purple and red channels on the Revv is the fact that they're interchangeable. In other words, they sound very similar, but there are slight differences between them. But you can also use either channel for rhythm or lead. So depending on your taste, you're going to pick one over the other for whatever purpose you're going to use them for, and they'll both serve that purpose perfectly. So let's hear what the purple channel sounds like. Freaking nasty. Oh my god, this amp sounds freaking insane. Alright, so let's hear how the purple and red channels compare. They're very, very similar, but again, you can dial them in any way you want to make them sound however you want, but I'll just do a quick riff and compare both channels now for you. Keep an eye on the amp. When you see it switch colors, so you'll know what channel I'm on. I'm going to start with the purple. So they're similar, but there are some subtle differences between them. So hopefully the compression on YouTube doesn't hide that. But I'm just telling you, there are subtle differences. They do have their own characteristics and voicing, but they're close enough that you can use them for either rhythm or lead, like I said earlier. So now let's talk about pricing. I went online and did some shopping, and I found that the Mesa Boogie dual rectifier, brand new, is $27.99, and the JCM 800 is $35.49. Now the Revv Generator Mark III is $33.99, so it's actually cheaper than the JCM 800. I mean, that's insane. And when you consider all of the features that the Revv comes with, and the fact that it's got 4 channels and they're all usable and amazing, I mean, I just think that that's a way better way to go between these 3 amplifiers. I mean, if it was me making the decision, it would be an easy decision for the Revv. I mean, look at all the features that the Revv has. I mean, you have MIDI, you have 4 channels, you have a programmable amp, so you can program all the channels. You have a bunch of tonal options on the amplifier too, with all the different switches. I mean, you got the bright, fat, cut switch, you also have a noise gate, and you also get the 2 notes torpedo tech built into the amplifier. So if you don't want to bring a cab to a show, just take the amp, plug it into the house, and run direct into the front of house. And you can run in stereo as well and have really good tone for yourself if you're using in-ear system or monitors, and the front of house will all have amazing tone. So I mean, this amplifier just has everything that you could ever want and then some, and it's cheaper than the JCM 800. So I really don't see how you could go wrong with this amplifier. And it also has, like, you know, the best of both worlds. I mean, you're going to get the JCM stuff and the Dual Rec stuff, but you're going to get better versions of both of those amplifiers. On top of that, you're getting all those amazing features too. So honestly, I think the Revv is the way better choice out of these 3 amplifiers. Well, I hope this video helped you out with your decision. I mean, I could go in depth with all of the different things, but I want to keep my videos short and informative for you. I'm sure you can go on Google and look up more features about this amplifier and compare it side by side to the other ones that we talked about today. But I can assure you, if you buy the Revv Generator Mark III, you're going to love it. It really is a great amplifier. And I love the fact that it has variety of tones and genres that you could play through it, but they're all usable. You know, I mean, I've played a lot of amps that have had like this, you know, jackknife, you know, kind of thing where, it's got all these different, like the MacGyver knife, you know, you got all these different channels, but none of them were any good except for maybe one. The thing is with the Revv is they did all these channels right. They gave you a good version of that variety thing. So I really do think that this is just an easy choice for you. And again, regarding the price, I mean, yeah, it's more than the Dual Rec, but I mean, it's freaking way better. And it's not such a one-trick pony like the Dual Rec is. And it's cheaper than the JCM. So, I mean, I just think it's just an easy decision at this point. Well, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe and give me a thumbs up if you like the video, and share it in some of your groups on Facebook or whatever. I'd really appreciate that as well. Well, I got a lot of great stuff coming up, and I'll see you on the next one.